Before we get to it, I want to thank today's sponsor, and that is Moomoo. Moomoo has been sponsoring our channel for a while now, and I've gotten used to the platform for my daily trades and analysis. What I really like most about Moomoo is the ultra low trading fees and also the extended trading hours in the US markets. Moomoo is a global brand founded in Silicon Valley and also has 21 million users worldwide. Moomoo Financial Canada Inc. is also a member of CIPF, which means your money is protected up to $1 million for general accounts, so you don't have to worry about the safety of your money. If you're like me, you used to pay $5 or $10 per trade, so if I were to execute 5 trades, that would cost me on average around $50, whereas now with Moomoo, if I execute 5 trades, I only have to spend $10. Using Moomoo, you only pay $1.99 per trade. For those in Canada, Moomoo also launched RRSPs and TFSAs this month. If you'd like to learn more or sign up and take advantage of some of these amazing incentives and features, I will leave links for this in the comment section and in the description box below. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, everybody. It's Rod with Pow Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Saturday, January 20th. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. And in this video, we're going to do another edition of rapid fire news updates for the period January 13th to the 19th. And as a reminder, I try to make these videos around 15 minutes or so, and I go over a high-level overview. It's not to go into deep dive details, and it's to go over all of the pertinent information and news articles that transpired over the last week or so. And if you want to dig into it more on your own time, then you can feel free to do that. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. You should never ever buy anything based on anything that I say or anything that I write. Starting off here, MJ Moment reports that Maryland saw MJ market spike in December, setting new monthly record to cap off $787.5 million in 2023 sales. And you can easily tell that just in North America alone, but definitely on a global scale, the MJ industry is going to be worth easily $100 billion to $200 billion once we get reform in the US and we start to see more and more states and countries start to adopt this medicine of the future and start to see broader reform across the globe, right? But easily $100 to $200 billion market. Florida potentially coming online as well with recreational use. That's going to be a massive market in and of itself. NCAA Division I to vote on removing MJ from banned substances list for student athletes. And this comes after we know that the UFC removed it from its banned substances list as well. So again, it's just the dominoes falling, and we continue to see more and more organizations, more and more companies, more and more countries and states start to embrace this medicine of the future. Also, Arkansas ballot initiative would allow medical MJ home grow and trigger recreational legalization after federal reform. So again, more dominoes continue to fall. Also, top Biden health official in touch with the DEA about MJ rescheduling recommendation. I also just posted a video, I think it was yesterday, on when will the DEA reschedule MJ. So it was this one here, when will the DEA announce rescheduling decision? If you haven't seen that, I go through my thoughts and opinions on that. And again, it's just my own thoughts and opinions. I don't have a crystal ball, but if you want my honest opinion on that, you can go check out that video. Also, a survey shows that 69% of Canadian MJ consumers always buy legal products. And this was to be expected. It just took a little bit longer than anticipated. And I mean, just under 70% we still got a long way to go. But, they're talking about increasing the milligrams from 10 to 100 milligrams for edibles. That'll help a lot. And then, as time goes on, I expect this to be at 80% once they, start to improve the limits with regards to edibles to 100 milligrams, because that's something that the illicit market really thrives on, right? Is that higher potency type of products. So this should continue to trend higher. I would expect it to probably be closer to 80% in the next year or so. Also, Health Canada releases new data on MJ use in Canada. If you want to check this out, you can do so. But again, it's pretty lengthy, so I won't go into it in detail. But keep in mind that the Canadian government is also reviewing MJ and the MJ Act here in Canada. So we could see improvements to excise taxes. Still can't do any advertising and things like that. So we could see improvements to advertising restrictions and marketing, packaging, labeling, all that good stuff. As we know, they're pretty cut and dry right now with regards to labels, and huge warning signs on most of it. But we'll see if that ever goes away. But we could see improvements to excise taxes as well, which would be huge for the Canadian companies. Also, Rhode Island MJ retailers shatter monthly sales record, capping off 100 million in MJ purchases in 2023. Kent State University will offer cannabis certification courses. So Kent State University in Ohio is offering a new MJ education certification program. And this is going to be something that I think is, obviously we're going to see tons of jobs created from this amazing industry in medicine in the future. And this is going to be something as well where we're going to see tons of courses. And who knows, maybe I'll even take, if there's like an online option or something like that, maybe I'll even enroll in an online option one. I think that would be pretty cool. Let me know in the comment section below if this is something that would interest you. Also, Ontario's new MJ store ownership cap expected to boost M&A, so mergers and acquisitions. I agree with this. So as we know, I've reported on this before, not too long ago, that they're upping the store count from 75 to 150. So that means retailers can double their store count. So, think of the High Tides of the world and the Canna-Cabanas. They're going to see their store cap double in Canada's biggest province in Ontario. So this is definitely going to boost M&A, in my opinion, as it's going to make it's going to make the competitive landscape a lot more difficult, and with more competition comes more issues and trouble staying afloat. So, not sure if you guys heard that and gals heard that. My dog was coughing in the background. Hopefully he's doing okay. It looks to be okay here beside me. Also, Sweetwater Brewing doubles down on gummies. So this is the Tilray brand and subsidiary. So Sweetwater Brewing Company releases the Sour Watermelon India Pale Ale, so IPA, and Cherry Limeade IPA. So I haven't tried these. If anybody's tried these, let me know in the comment section below. Really interested in trying those out. Also, more Tilray news. Manitoba Harvest Hemp Foods celebrates a decade of B Corp certification with a score of 100 points. So this is their hemp business, so the Manitoba Harvest division of their business. So this is great to see. I've heard nothing but great things about the product. I actually haven't tried it before, but I'll have to add that to my to-do list. Also, we had some more statement of changes in beneficial ownership in the management in the insiders with Tilray. So Denise Faltacek, who is the chief strategy officer, actually acquired 10,000 shares, and that was at a price of $2.05. I also did a video on this as well. Mitchell Gendel and Carl Merton and Erwin Simon himself were actually buying as well. So I did an insider buying video on Tilray if you want to check that out as well. I also did a couple of videos on some Tilray FUD. It was CLN YouTube channel, and then also there was another video as well with Alan Brockstein. If you can recall, I just posted that not too long ago, last week, and essentially there was tons of FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and bashing, and they said, one person said that Tilray was absolute trash, and then they start bashing Alan Brockstein, and a couple others started bashing Tilray, basically saying that they're getting into fruit and vegetables now. They're not even an MJ company. They're getting away from MJ. I just want to remind everybody that Alan Brockstein, the CFA, was sued for alleged unfair business practices and conspiracy to commit securities fraud, aiding crimes subject to RICO Act, aiding plot to defraud the United States, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and injunctive relief to update disclosures affecting CFA neutrality. So that is the man that we're dealing with, right? So just be very cautious where you get your information, and question everything. Question even me, right? I don't know everything. I don't have a crystal ball, but I certainly do my best to be as honest and a straight shooter as possible. And all I want is to get to the truth and help my fellow people and retail investors, right? So I'm not here with any kind of agenda. I'm not here with any kind of motivation to fraud people or make somebody else experience harm to benefit myself, right? So I don't think there's any place for that, and I think we just need to be very, very cautious on who we get our information from these days. Also, Michigan MJ sales surge. Michigan MJ sales were up sequentially for the first time since July at 279.9 million, and sales rose 7.5% sequentially. Moving on a little bit quicker here. MJ legalization among top legislative priorities for Hawaii Senate majority. So again, we continue to see dominoes fall. Also, Hart replaces retiring Vita as CEO at MJ MSO, the Cannabis Co., which we know just rebranded from what was it? Can't remember the name now. They were going to merge with Cresco. Columbia Care. Canadian MJ company Safari Flower accesses creditor protection. So this is something I've been saying for a while now. That's probably going to continue. We're going to continue to see more creditor protection. We're going to see CCAA filings. We're going to continue to see bankruptcy filings. And like I said earlier in the video, with that store cap going up and creating more mergers and acquisitions, we're going to see more creditor protection filings. We're going to see more bankruptcy filings. We're going to see more mergers and acquisitions, just as a result of this competitive landscape continuing to really weigh on some of the operators that are just less, financially positioned, and long-term sustainable outlook is just not that great for the smaller companies that just don't have the capital to continue, right? So it's going to be, we're going to separate the men from the boys and the women from the girls, so to speak, here over the next couple of years, and the true winners will emerge. Also, MJ operator Unrivaled Brands completes reorg and reverse stock split, which has been a common theme we know happened to Canopy Growth, which was once the darling in the space at one point and the biggest in terms of market cap. It can happen to Canopy, it can happen to anyone. Also, Ukraine medical MJ bill is unblocked from advancing to the president's desk after opponents' repeal attempts fail. So again, I didn't think that was going to be blocked forever, and again, they can only push it down the road for so long. They can only kick that can for so long. And another interesting article here is that Ukraine might depend on MJ imports for years before local production is ready, and this is only going to help your Canadian producers as well, and your companies that are EU GMP certified. You're going to see like the Tilrays. You're going to see even Curaleaf has some operations in Germany, and even Canopy has the Kincardine facility with EU GMP certification. Organogram, Aurora, Kronos were a few others that were mentioned to benefit from the European market as well. Also, the NFL is partnering on a new study using CBD to treat pain and protect from concussions. Imagine what would have happened, if we started studying this decades ago. Think of how many people, how many athletes could have been, treated for pain, and instead of opioids and things like that, and seeing addiction issues, and also protecting from concussions. There was also some C19 studies that saying it prevented from that. So imagine if we didn't have this stigma and these just draconian laws that just people that are living in a time capsule that still think that this is somehow a gateway drug and the devil's lettuce. Well, I got news for you. It's medicine of the future. And imagine if we would have been studying this decades ago, the amount of athletes and people and anyone, patients, people that are suffering from terminal illnesses. Imagine the amount of improvement to their lives that we could have found if we just got rid of the stigma and embrace this medicine of the future, right? And it's only going to continue as we see more reform and stigmatization kind of go away, and we're just going to continue to see advancements and breakthroughs with regards to scientific findings, right, and research. So it's time for change, right? We need everyone to get on board, which the people are supporting. Now we just need our elected officials who work for the people, they claim, to get on board with what the people want. MJ advocates plan largest bipartisan push for federal reform at pre-420 event in DC as rescheduling decision looms. So again, I just posted a recent video on this. I think it's going to happen before that 420 date, but I think sometime between now and the end of April is realistic. Also, New Hampshire GOP governor defends state-run MJ legalization plan as lawmakers consider 2024 reform bills. Also, MJ operator Canopy raised $35 million in upsized private placement. So I did a video on this as well. There was some shenanigans with regards to their private placement. They initially said $30 million on January 9th, and then a couple days later they scrapped it, said we're no longer doing it, and then a couple days later they said, oh, we're doing it, but we're upping it to $35 million. So there seems to be some shadiness there, some shenanigans. Who knows what's going on there behind the scenes? I hear that there's some nefarious things going on with regards to like details with regards to like shorting and things like that. So we'll see what's going on there, but yeah, manipulation kind of smells like manipulation to me. So we'll see. Perhaps I'll do another video on that in the future. Also, New Jersey regulators approved final rules for MJ consumption lounges. So this is great to see. We know Nevada as well. I think California. This is going to be a big thing, right? We know I did a video here in Edmonton, Alberta, where there's a new restaurant called CBN. And they're going to be doing infused kind of meals and things like that, where you can go and it's kind of like that. What's that Netflix special? cooking with cannabis. This is going to be huge. I think this is going to be massive, and then eventually, like, my dream is to have a bar, kind of a brewery, but with only MJ infused beers, right? So that'd be absolute, like a Cannapub, right? So that's my dream. We'll see if I get there, but even just having MJ infused beverages on tap at a bar or something like that would be huge. And then people doing dry January who don't, they go to a bar, they don't want to be, maybe they don't want to do the non-alc version and they just want something else, right? They don't want the they don't want to fight the temptation to, go to a bar, so they just stay home, right? This is kind of a different alternative to that, but these lounges are going to be a new frontier in my opinion as well. It's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see what happens over the next, call it 3 to 5 years. Also, the American Nurses Association cheers federal health agencies' MJ rescheduling recommendation. So again, more associations, more organizations, more sports leagues, more companies, more countries starting to embrace this medicine in the future. And yeah, the people are cheering it. People are excited. People want this to happen. So in my opinion, it's just a matter of when, not if. Also, CDC finds that youth marijuana use fell in Washington state's largest county after adult use legalization. Imagine that. It's harder to access once it's legal. Why? Because we're driving out the black market. Right now in Canada, it's just not, everybody, that corner, that person you used to meet on the corner, or, that black market dealer that you used to go to, every week or every couple of weeks, you just call them up and you meet them in the Walmart parking lot or something like that. That the days of that are going away because it's just not profitable for them anymore, right? There were stories of black market dealers going to the legal store, buying MJ, and then reselling it on the black market because it was cheaper to buy it from there than it was in the black market, right? So eventually, this is just going to continue to be the same as alcohol or tobacco, right? When you want to go buy cigarettes, or you want to go buy any kind of beer or liquor, you're going to have to show your ID, right? So it's just common sense. And then get rid of the black market, then they're not going to be able to buy it from these, medium of exchange where you don't have to show ID, right? No one cares if you're buying from a black market dealer. They don't care how old you are. All they care about is that you have cash, and they like cash because that's the best way that they can do nefarious activity without being traced, right? Everybody thinks it's like crypto and things like that, but no, it's cash. Cash is the king when it comes to money laundering and nefarious activities. Also, this is great to see, a woman-owned cannabis dispensary opens its doors in Gelada, and that's in California. So Megan's Organic Market, a wholesome MJ storefront, has opened there at 5,999 Hollister Avenue. The woman-owned market has stocked shelves with the curated selection of over 60 high-quality MJ brands at prices for all budgets. Absolutely great to see. Also, MJ MSO Trulieve appeals Alabama's license restraining order, so we'll see what happens with regards to that. Seems like Trulieve is always in some sort of legal. Yeah, I don't know. I always had a weird feeling with regards to Trulieve, and I know we got tons of Trulieve supporters out there, but I just got to call it when I see it, and a bad feeling in my gut when it comes to Trulieve, because like we said, they had that worker that died on the scene. Heart goes out to them, and then the parents, I think it was the mother, sued them for wrongful cause of death. They had ties to the mob and the husband of Kim Rivers and the RICO case, and oh man, that old CFO that wrongly expensed over like almost $500,000. So I don't know. I caution everybody, be very, very cautious with regards to Trulieve. But yeah, Alabama yet to launch another medical MJ program is embroiled in yet another legal challenge, this time from Florida-based multi-state operator Trulieve. So if you want to read more details on that, you can do so. Also, Biden stands to gain double-digit political support if MJ is rescheduled, poll of likely voters shows. And then I heard that there's some rumors going around that he might not even run. He might drop out of the race and endorse somebody else. I think that is a very plausible scenario. I also mentioned that imagine if Trump were to run and Biden were to run, and Biden used MJ to sway voters and Trump started to do a 180 and use crypto to sway voters. That could very well happen, but there's some chatter and some rumors going on that potentially Nikki Haley could replace Biden as the Democratic campaign to run for presidential campaign, right? So we'll see if Nikki Haley is going to replace Biden. I really don't care. I try not to get political, but I really don't care who becomes president. But it would be pretty cool to see. There was also like, I think Michelle Obama was another one that they mentioned that could potentially run. So we'll see. Interesting times ahead here in 2024 as we head into an election season. But yeah, in terms of Nikki Haley, she did say that she will go with the scientists on federal MJ rescheduling, saying it obviously doesn't belong in the same class as heroin. Huh. No kidding. Who would have thought? But yeah, I don't care who becomes president as long as they're pro MJ. Canadian MJ sales also plunged in November, so it was down 6.2% to 412.1 million. And October was revised lower to 439.3 million. But yeah, the November retail sales were down 6.2%. Adult use MJ legalization bids reintroduced in Virginia and West Virginia as we continue to see game theory playing out, and Minnesota needs to issue more than 375 adult use MJ license, study says. Wow, that is a staggering number. All right, going to end it there. Let me know what you think of this news. It's Rob with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth. Smash a like if you think I earned it today. Share the video with anybody that might find value, and let me know what you think of these videos in this format. All right, going to end it there. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you again on the next video.